What's going on, Bulls Nation? Peck here from CHGO Bulls. We got a live post-game coming up for y'all in just a few seconds. Bulls get their second NBA Cup win of the season. They are now 2-1 in group play. 127-108 is the final over the Washington Wizards, who just endured their 12th straight loss at the hand of the Bulls. Is there a highlight? I don't know. Let's find out together. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls postgame. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That's Big Dave. Bam! Bam! BAWL Sports. Will, the GOAT, perfectly quaffed Gottlieb, Will_Gottlieb.
He's grown.
And sitting in for Katie on the controls today, it's the one and only, our dear friend, Sarah.
Hold down.
Sarah, do you have so much fun watching Bulls Wizards just now? How great was that? What a treat.
It was great.
It was great.
It was great.
Give people what they need to say.
Hold down.
Pull down. Big Dave wants that Bulls win audio drop from you.
Bulls win! Hit it again. Bulls win! Hit it for Bulls Nation who sat through this. Bulls win! Hit it for Will because he's quaffed. Bulls win! Oh, the bomb has been dropped.
Boom. Was that game worthy of a bomb dropping? I don't know.
She was just hitting buttons. I don't blame her. She
That
was
was,
hitting buttons.
you know,
She did her job.
that was like pulling, the pin of a grenade and chucking it, and it's just like, it's a dud. It's a dud grenade. Technically, yes, the Bulls just won, and in convincing fashion. 127-108 is the final over the Wizards. The Bulls not only go to 2-1 in the group play of the NBA Cup to keep their advancement hopes alive, they gain ground point differential-wise with a 19-point margin of victory that now makes them, I believe, plus 15 overall in group play point differential, if my math is correct.
Number one in their group. They are currently,
Point differential-wise?
in total, they are the number one seed in Group C right now at 2-1 with their point differential.
Well, that just broke my brain.
Yeah.
There's your good news. The bad news is that I can't get those 2 hours of my life back. Dave, how do you feel?
I feel great.
I'm so happy.
I'm actually cool. I'm actually great. Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough watch.
I've watched some ugly NBA games in my day.
That was tough. That was tough work right there. That was some tough work on both ends of the floor by both teams. They both had their lulls and their spells and their droughts. It's just the Washington Wizards had a longer one.
That whole game was a drought.
Yes.
That was elevated G League. That was
elevated G League.
That's how I think
some
about
of the
that game right
turnovers
there.
and misses were just like, what are we watching?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 2018 vibes.
Yeah. No, it was tough.
That was hard to watch.
It was tough. I am happy that they are, in first place in Emirates Cup right now. We'll see if that lasts when they have to play the Boston Celtics.
The Celtics on
It all
Friday.
comes to a head on Friday
Because
night.
that's interesting because the Celtics now have something to play for.
It all comes down to this.
Yeah.
Watch out, Bulls.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to watch. And honestly, the Bulls almost gave away that point differential at the end because they turned the ball over trying to inbound the ball. And
Because Billy
if
left.
they made a shot
because-
there, they would be in third place.
yes, correct.
Because Billy left Josh Gideon.
Mm-hmm.
So the point differential breakdown right now is Bulls plus 15 at 2-1. Cavs are plus 15, but only at 1-1, so they're in fourth place. The Hawks are in second place at -1 because they got destroyed by the Bulls, but also because they beat the Celtics, who are in third place, also at 2-1, but with a plus 14 point differential. So if the Wizards had made that shot on the final play, that would have put the Bulls underneath both the Hawks and the Celtics
Wow.
because they would have not had point differential.
Wow, is right.
Crazy.
One shot can swing so many things.
If you only had one shot,
One opportunity.
one opportunity.
Shout out to everybody hanging out with us in the chat live on YouTube. If you are hanging out with us, do us a quick, easy favor. Hit that like button
Sweet.
while you're sitting here. It takes half a second. And Sarah appreciates it. So do we. So does Troll Joe, wherever he is. Willem in the comments said, I love these multiple balanced scoring attacks this season with 5+ players in double figures. Love Modest getting more confident. Love not seeing Pat on the floor. Ouch.
Oh,
LOL.
man.
Love your show, by the way. Thanks for checking in, Willem. Some positivity there. Like we can touch on Modest later, but let's start with what he said about the balanced attack. That is correct. All 5 starters in double figures, plus both Jalen Smith and, of course, Dalen Horton-Tucker off the bench in double figures. The Bulls got out to a slow start in this one. I think it was they were down 29-21 after the first quarter, and you're like, oh, are the Bulls about to show us one of those games where they prove they're totally capable of losing to any team in the NBA? Because they for sure are. But no, they buckle down. They get their SHIT back together in the second quarter. I think they tore off 40 points in the second to take that lead into halftime, and it was balanced. Vooch, 14 shots. Coby, 13. Zach, 14. Ayo, 10. And Giddey, 6. Those are field goal attempts for your 5 starters. And we've seen plenty of nights like that so far, Dave.
We've seen a lot of nights like that. Also, Miles Ellis with 9 points was a point away from being also in double figures. So shout out to him as well for that. The Bulls realized who they were playing after the first. Actually, I think they realized it in the first quarter who they were playing because, as Will Perdue keeps saying, they play down their competition. So I think they knew exactly who was on the floor with them. It was just about when they were going to decide to be like, okay, let's just go play and win and go home because these dudes are going to give us the game. It was kind of like how the Green Bay Packers used to say about Jay Cutler or any Bear quarterback outside of Caleb Williams running throw back there when they say, hey, they're playing tough, but they're going to give us one. The quarterback is going to give us one. You knew the Wizards were going to give the Bulls multiple opportunities to either get back in this game or take a commanding lead in this game. And that's exactly what you saw. The turnovers were just, as Matt likes to say, poopy. It was just really, really sad watching Washington play. But the Bulls did what you're supposed to do when the team is that bad. You take advantage of it. And, not only do you take advantage, you try to put them in the ground. And credit to Washington, who had it at like a 12-point lead, which was wild to me going into the fourth quarter, that it was a 12-point lead. I think I screamed it out. like a couple of things I screamed when I was sitting over there watching this game.
Why?
What's going on? But yeah, man, like they did exactly what you're supposed to do against teams that are this bad. And Kispert, Lord Jesus. But yeah, man.
Modern day Chris Humphries.
Oh my gosh, it's my day Chris Dunn tonight. Like he was tough. Chris Dunn, clang. So yeah, man, the Bulls did exactly what a team is supposed to do against a inferior opponent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know like how much you really take away from this game, other than it just being like a 1-game sample of them continuing to play better than we thought. Right? Like they're 8-11 right now. We were picking. The over-under on the season from Vegas was 27.5. So, I mean, for them to hit that record, they would have to go 19-44 the rest of the way. That's obviously not going to happen. So they're just a better team than we thought. But yeah, I mean, they're playing, I think, at times down to their opponent's level. But credit to them for shaking that off and then getting themselves to a 19-point win.
Yeah.
But there's also games where they play up to their opponent's level, and you see them, competing with teams. So
we saw it before.
They're obviously like a better team than we thought. I mean, we've all said, and I've written this a couple times now, but I think they just need to, especially in these cup games where like they want to come out and make a statement and put themselves in a position to advance. Like this is kind of performance you need to have.
Yeah, this is how you're supposed to play against these kind of teams right here. I'm just definitely interested to see how they go forward with this, how this affects a matchup tomorrow, because, Vooch is out there finishing the game for them. Zach came back in that fourth quarter so they can get that 19-point lead. You saw Ayo playing deep into the fourth. So I'm interested to see. And it was funny because I thought that they started gaining that lead when they were playing guys like THT, and other guys like that. That's when it kind of grew. Because at the same time, I know you want to, dominate them. But in my head, I was like, this is the Zards. Do you really need certain other people in here? I think THT could kind of carry us to this right here, man. But yeah.
I mean, Billy did say in some of his comments about this whole NBA Cup point differential thing, you kind of like skating that fine line of, hey, can we build up point differential a little bit while also realizing we're in, the front end of a back-to-back.
Yeah. I thought Stacey also brought up a good point. tonight. One of the points I did agree with. He said some things I did not agree with tonight. My goodness.
Dave, did you know that the Bulls can be a really good defensive team whenever they feel like it?
Leave me alone, Matt Peck. Oh, man.
Stays, buddy.
But I do agree with him saying they have to come up with something different as opposed to having these teams put their best players back in so they can get this point differential.
Yeah.
Because there's just too much risk associated with that. Not only injury, but players actually having pride.
Right.
That you're whooping out behind like this.
Didn't that happen in the Bulls-Celtics game?
Yes, it definitely happened in the Bulls-Celtics
Did Tatum get banged up or something? Like something happened, or maybe Horford? I can't remember.
Ankle, if I'm not mistaken.
Somebody in the last dregs of that Bulls-Celtics beatdown in the play-in tournament last year. I keep saying play-in tournament. God, clearly my brain is focused on one thing that it's terrified of right now.
This is what he dreams at night. Play-in tournament.
In-season tournament.
That's how he wakes
that,
up.
like, is it worth this silly in-season tournament and the point differential aspect of it to risk one of your star players going down late in the fourth quarter of a game that's been decided?
Yeah.
And, I mean, for Billy tonight, look, Coby, Zach, and Ayo all played somewhere between 30 and 31 minutes. Vooch, 29. Giddey 26. So it's not like he rode his starters too much.
No, that's not what I'm saying either. You know, I'm just talking about bringing them in at the end of the game in the fourth quarter when the game's already decided.
You're talking about just the risk factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only that, the pride part, because you saw Ayo, take a flagrant foul from Kuzma, who swiped down on him and was trying to, get the ball, but he definitely was trying to put some extra on that.
And players on teams like that, regardless if it's a cup game or not, have nothing to lose ever.
Yeah.
So they might be willing to do dumb shit like flagrant fouls in the last minutes of the fourth quarter.
Exactly. So I think they have to come up with something different from that. Stacey was like, maybe give the team who wins a quarter like 3 points, and if you lose the quarter, you get 1 point or something like that. But I agree with him on that aspect, man. They got to come up with something different other than jeopardizing other teams' talent and putting them in the fourth.
And they could have tried to run it up more. I mean, they played E.J. Liddell and who else was out there? Javon Carter, Chris Duarte. So, I mean, Billy did bring those guys in, and that was for the last 2 minutes of the game. So they could have had a chance to run it up even more. And again, that's what Vooch had said to us post-game after the Hawks when they played at their one NBA Cup game in Chicago so far, was like, we had an opportunity that we didn't take advantage of. We have to be better at that next time. And obviously, you're already up 20, but like clearly this was not a priority for them over preparing for tomorrow or over, anything else. It just, they kind of played it as they normally would.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guy Clem, who I just saw in the comments saying "Victoire des Bulls."
Victoire
des
Bulls.
Caps. We need to pull that audio clip so we can splice it in with the big Dave Bulls wins.
Victoire.
We got a lot of Ayo love in the comments. Colin saying I love Ayo so much. Kyle Williams saying Ayo Dos. That Kyle Williams? Not that Kyle Williams. Ayo, as I mentioned, 30 minutes tonight. Finished 4 of 10, just 1 of 4 from downtown. 12 points, 3 boards, 3 dimes, 2 steals, and a block. I feel like we were talking about Ayo. Shout out to Go, your people here hanging out with us for a while tonight, asking like, how's Ayo look this season? And it was like, well, he's not shooting the ball well, particularly from behind the 3-point line. He is kind of climbing out of that awful start he had behind the 3-point line. But regardless of whether or not his shots falling, every night he's out there working, and he's doing the work on defense, on the glass, in transition. That ugly third quarter that just refused to go away. The only good thing about that quarter was Ayo being like, all right, guys, can we cut the bullshit and just like, let me just get this transition basket real quick. Let me get this defensive stop real quick.
And that's why, like I've always said, I'm just not really worried about like the makes and misses with him, because he's doing the right things that have always been what has led to success for him. So obviously getting it up in transition. And I asked Billy about this a couple games ago. Like, we're seeing a lot more of the inbounds pass after makes going to Ayo and not Giddey. And Billy was saying like, that's because Ayo gets it up the court the fastest on the team. And we want to put the ball in his hands because we want to get up the court as fast as we possibly can.
Makes sense.
And so, but there's risk associated with that, right? Because now you're playing Giddey off the ball. But that's how much faith Billy has in Ayo. And I think it speaks to him continuing to be consistent in the role that they're asking of him, which is, again, the transition, the defense, shooting when open, but driving, putting your head down and getting to the rim and either getting a layup or collapsing the defense and spraying out. And I think he's the best on the team at that. Like, the way that he puts pressure on the rim right now, the speed, it's not like he's going like side to side, breaking guys down. He's literally driving right in front of them, right past them. And like Billy's always said this on the other side, which is like, if we're defending and we're letting a guy get a runway to the rim, there's no defense for that.
Yeah.
There's no scheme for that.
Yeah.
Like, if I was just beating guys to the rim one-on-one, like, it doesn't matter if he's going side to side, whatever's happening. Like, he's getting there, and that puts pressure on the rim, and it breaks the defense.
Yeah, there's no scheme for speed, man.
Exactly.
There is not. We got to take our first break here on CHGO Bulls postgame. When we come back, plenty more thoughts on tonight's game, the season at large. Let us know what y'all are thinking about and want to talk about in the comments. Throw us a super chat if you're feeling generous tonight. We will get to all of that and more coming up next. And, of course, we got to find out who the Goon of the night is. Stay tuned.
Beer. I needed a lot of it.
Help me get through that.
Embrace that chill, Matthew Peck. Go ahead. Sarr Bear. Wait, what's it called? What was it? Stump? Whatever that game was called? Stump, yeah. So if you're playing Stump or between work, social media, and the choices life throws our way, it's no wonder you're more worked up. Coors Light celebrates rising above and choosing a chill mindset, and why not turn that rained out barbecue into the Will to Go Gottlieb and Will Purdue 13th annual karaoke house party. They'll be playing darts with Sarah. She plays it a little bit differently. Or after a tough loss, settle scores with the Ice Cold Peace offering. Make the choice to choose chill, then reach for a cold Coors Light. It is mountain cold refreshment, because when those mountains turn blue, oh yes, you know what to do. Cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged for a smooth finish. So when it's time to embrace chill, it's time to crack open that cold Coors Light. That mountain cold refreshment is as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Make the most out of those times to choose chill and choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door via Instacart. Go on to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Basketball. It's CoorsLight.com/CHGO Basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden,
Colorado.
Tonight's postgame also brought to you by our friends at Empire Today Goonage. With Empire, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and low price guarantee. Empire is the best place to get new flooring, so of course they have wannabe copycats. But Empire can't be beaten on quality, they can't be beaten on service, or on speed. So competitors, all they can do is try to advertise low-quality products at basement prices that Empire doesn't even bother to carry. They're just bad products. Empire doesn't promise the lowest prices because anyone out there promising the lowest prices is attaching to those lowest prices crap flooring that they wouldn't put in their homes, so they're not going to tell you to put them in yours.
Crap.
Our virtual floor designer, you got to check it out at Empire. A great way to see how new floors will look in any space in your home. It's easy. Just snap a quick picture and then instantly see how different flooring options will look with your furniture, your decor, the paint colors on your walls, all that jazz. So here's what you do. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All of our CHGO Bulls listeners can receive a $350 discount when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Some might say terms. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details. As we roll along post-game, thanks y'all for joining us. What's up, Big Dave?
For a second. Colin, Sarah, could you go to the comment that Colin was saying? I saw my name in there. Him talking about.
He was talking about Denzel. He was confused.
Denzel mentioned yesterday he needs to be called out for that. Yeah, I'm going to need you to go back and hear what I said, because I know what you're thinking. And you would be violently wrong that I would make that kind of comparison to Modest Buzelis. It's that other great Denzel, sir, that I'm talking about. Not that one right there.
Our guy Jamal from Bull Central also I saw on Twitter was like, oh, man, for a second, I thought Big Dave just said Denzel Valentine.
Yeah, and I immediately took him back. I am offended as hell right now.
How awful is it that we as Bulls fans, for the rest of our lives, when we hear the name Denzel, have to think, Washington.
Yeah.
Denzel Valentine did that to all of us.
First of all,
unforgivably so.
I'm going to need y'all to know that I would never in my life compare Modest Buzelis to Denzel Valentine. I was offended. I was truly offended. Like, you think what you saying? What you saying about my basketball knowledge, brother? That I would even do that. But again, like Matt said, you've been hurt. You've been scarred. So you thought that when you saw Denzel, you immediately thought that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The name Denzel has become a trigger for us.
Yes, it become a real trigger, and I get that. But come on now.
And also, like, you just said this, but I just want to re-amplify your statement, which was, do you guys really think so little of Dave that that's the comparison that he would make?
That's why I was offended.
That's the level of intellect that you think that he has?
What?
You guys know better.
What?
Come on, dog. What? What? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely
Reminds
not.
me a little bit of Robert Horry.
What?
As we roll along, breaking down this, Bulls technically win over the Wizards. Easy in the comments saying the Wizards, a serious team to watch to beat the 91 straight losses from last year's Pistons. Wait, how do you lose 91 straight games? There's 82 in a season.
That's a great question. Maybe going into next season losing some more?
I
don't know.
I don't remember hearing about 91 consecutive losses. I feel like I would have remembered that. But I mean, what did you say about this Wizards team, Goat, at some point while we were watching this miserable excuse of a basketball game?
I mean, I said that they are in trust the process, Sixers, and mid-2000s Bobcats territory.
Oh, the cats that bobbed.
The meow.
Oh, man. Some of y'all might be too young to remember. Do you remember the Charlotte Bobcats being an NBA team, Sarah?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
wish that I
serious.
could
Roll it there, Sarah.
I wish
right
that I
there.
could make that.
Somewhere Gerald Wallace is deeply offended.
Oh, man.
So I saw, speaking of these Wizards and just how bad they are, I saw our guy Justin in the comments said, I thought we were tanking. To tank, you have to lose to the worst. Rob quickly following that up saying, imagine trying to lose this game. Yeah, so actually, Justin, to be the to be tanking, you have to be the worst and not lose to the worst.
Correct.
You have to be the best of the losers.
Yes.
Right. But that is something that I wanted to touch on, just having so few actual basketball takes watching that game, because that was not basketball. I think tonight was a gross reminder for those Bulls fans. Hello, hi. Looking towards the 2025 NBA draft class, less so than wins and losses this season. Because that game just showed you what an actual, truly tank team in the NBA looks like this season. Not saying that all of the other teams towards the bottom of the standings are as bad as that Wizards team, Sans Jordan Poole, that we just watched. They have 2 wins, the fewest of any NBA team.
Yeah.
Toronto's bad, Brooklyn's bad, Utah's bad. There are other bad teams out there, but oh my God, those Wizards.
They are something.
The Bulls with this win tonight improved to 8-11.
Man.
The gap that exists between this sometimes fun bad Bulls team and that Wizards team, it is not a tanking season. Flatly, maybe they make some roster adjustments at some point before the trade deadline if they can, but right now this is not a tanking season, and that's a hard reality for some people to face.
It's fun bad. Like fun bad.
But it's not though. It's
Doesn't-
fun
go ahead.
mediocre. Like they're not bad. That's the problem.
No, they're bad. Their
8-11.
defense is horrific.
They're a
bad.
bad defense, but they're not
They're
a bad
bad.
team. They're 8-11. Like they're not a bad team. They're not a good team, but that's how you end up in the middle. And
I feel
that's
you.
the fear. Like that's the situation that they're in. It's not even like a potential outcome or a hypothetical anymore. This is where they are. And I'm totally with you, Matt. Like they are not putting themselves in a position to make the playoffs, and they're not putting themselves in a position to get a top 5 pick. So when you are in that danger zone of bottom 5 to outside the play-in, that's where you risk losing your pick. And like, who knows what's going to happen? There's a lot more games, but like I said, they would need to go 19-44 the rest of the way to hit their
27
to hit 27 wins. And like, how many wins does it take for a team to get a top 10 pick? Probably like 30 this year at most. So, I mean, you're talking about going, 12 and whatever, 12 and 41. And they're just not going to do that. So they are doing that. They are damaging their chance of getting their own pick. They're damaging their chance of improving the value of their own pick. And it's just literally the same thing that they have always done, which is be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, somewhere in the middle. And that's how you stay in the middle. And at a certain point, you don't have to do it the same way the Wizards are doing it, where they're like literally the worst team that I can imagine watching.
Yes.
But you do have to go a little bit closer to that direction. And the Bulls just aren't doing that. And you can say, well, what should they do? Because they got Zach, they got Vooch, they can't move these guys. I don't know what the answer to that is, but they do need to figure something out because this is what's happening to them. Whether they like it or not, this is what's happening to them.
Yeah. If you win, for me, why it's fun bad. If you win 32 games and you lose 50, that's bad. So that's not mediocrity to me. Even though being stuck in the middle, I'm not taking away from that point. You're right. You could be stuck in the middle, continuing to do the same dumb stuff we're continuing to see them do. But that's still bad. But so that's how I look at it when I call a team fun bad. Worst defense in the league is bad. Like, they are just putrid at this. Watching these guys play that way, it's bad. The mediocrity is the offense is fun and it's putting you in that. You know what I mean? And kind of balancing that out like that. And that's how it's getting you to that mediocrity that you're talking about. But then also why they're playing these certain teams like Cleveland and, all these other teams pretty tight, and things like that, but still walking away with the loss. But it's what I thought they were going to be. Like, this is why I continued to say fun bad. I didn't think they were going to be near the bottom as far as a terrible team in the league. This isn't a surprise to me. It's to be a disappointment, and I feel that. I could definitely feel that. It could be a disappointment for sure. But this is what I thought it was going to be for them. They're fun bad. Like, I have fun watching them, but I know they're ass.
To me, it's like, I hear and agree with what you're saying. Like, bad is a relative term.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Because, like, if you lose 50 games, you're bad.
You're
but
bad.
if you lose 50 games and you're the 12th worst team in the league, then you're mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe we have to, like, move the goalposts of what bad and mediocre is to where it's like, the bottom 5 teams are bad. 6 through 13 or 14 are mediocre. And then the teams that make the playoffs are some form of good to great or contender.
Okay.
Like, the Bulls are in that second to bottom tier where you're not good enough
not a
to
top
be,
5
you're not good enough
team.
to be in the playoffs. Maybe you can squeak into the play-in, but like, how much of an accomplishment is getting 10th in the East this year?
Not really at all.
Not at all. And then you're not bad enough to be in the territory where you need to be if you want one of the franchise-changing players that's available at the top of this draft. So whether it's fun bad or fun mediocre or just mediocre, like they do need to get themselves out of that tier because that tier is the no man's land. I mean, that's the danger zone.
Agreed.
Where
I believe Tim Legler referred to it as NBA purgatory.
Purgatory.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he said. Yes.
Where you run the risk of losing your pick, where you, even if you do get your pick, you're getting like the 8th or 9th pick, and that's not really a player that's changing your future outlook, and you're not ever being able to compete at a higher level. Like, the whole point of doing these like tanking years is to like put them behind you, right? To like get the guys and then move forward with it. And if you avoid that, you're just prolonging the situation where you don't have the guys, but you don't want to be bad enough. So it's just like not very good. Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's mediocre. Maybe it's somewhere in between, but you're never able to get out of it because the players that you have aren't good enough to get you out of it.
Sure.
And I think that even if you really do believe in some of the guys on this Bulls roster, and as we talked about before, like we do, they don't have the right things in place, and they need to get that at the top of the draft.
We'll always disagree fundamentally on that because I definitely believe you can definitely find a franchise-changing player in the top 1 through 10. It's just been proven way too many times for me to disagree. But going by, I get you. And I'm not saying you're wrong because, yes, more are found in that top 5. You want to find it that way. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I always believe that they just need to keep the pick. Let me get into the lottery because nothing is a given once I get into the lottery. So that's the way I have to look at it because they are not going to be bad enough to get the lottery balls that you're going to want. You know what I'm saying? To be like, okay, this can ensure us a top 5 pick or better ensure us a top 5 pick.
And I hear what you're saying, and I think that we've maybe given them a little bit too much benefit of the doubt with this. And it's at a point where, like, similar to a trade that we didn't like or similar to a free agency signing that we didn't like, I do not like the way they're going about this.
Bingo.
That's the problem. It's
Bingo.
like whether they are trying to skirt the line or whether they are trying to get lucky from the 8th spot, like, I do not like the way that they're going about this direction.
But they really don't have a choice. And that's the problem.
No,
go ahead.
See, they do have a choice. They're the basketball executives running this team. They have a choice how they go about their business.
Yeah, they put themselves in this situation. That's not what I'm saying.
So
I'm saying the situation that they're in right now, they have to play the dudes right now to showcase them dudes to get them off the team. They have to play them. They can't sit them. They got to play. That's the situation they're in.
That part is true. And that's why I like the Bulls coming into this season, moving on from DeMar and finally admitting that continuity of what was not working, was not good enough, did not do their jobs well enough.
Agreed.
To enter this new season in a new direction.
Don't disagree at all.
Let's put a pin in that because we got to take another quick break. When we come back, more of our thoughts on all things Bulls, more of y'all's thoughts from the comments. Hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. Make sure you subscribe to that CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Woo. Poof. Poof. There goes my sanity. Tonight's show brought to you by Verilife. Are you looking for the perfect way to elevate your day? At Verilife Dispensary, they have everything you need, from premium cannabis products to expert advice. Whether you're new to cannabis or a connoisseur, their knowledgeable bud tenders are here to help you make your selections. With 8 convenient locations across Illinois, discovering your perfect experience has never been easier. Verilife proudly offers a price match guarantee, ensuring you get the best value by matching local competitors' prices on eligible products. Don't miss out on their latest deals and exclusive offers only at Verilife Cannabis stores and online at verilife.com. Be sure to mention promo code CHGO25 in store, and that'll get you 25% off one regular priced item. Restrictions apply. Again, that's Verilife Cannabis stores across the state of Illinois and their website, Verilife, VERILIFE.com.
Ooh. Man, I understand, why you're a little more worked up. It's because we haven't talked about ComEd.
Oh,
I
please.
Get it. No, I get it. I understand. That's what's going on right now.
I need the sweet release of either talking about ComEd or death. So give me one of the two, Dave.
Oh, we're going to go with ComEd on that one. We still got a show to get through, sir.
I'm sure y'all can handle it.
True, but it wouldn't be the same without you. Nobody tosses them hats like this. Look at that. Come on. That's a hat throw, Sarr. Because Matt.
Wait until she wasn't looking.
Because Matt, ComEd can help businesses save money by becoming more energy efficient.
What? I didn't know that, Dave.
Yeah.
Wow.
The energy efficiency program can help find up to 35% in energy savings.
That is so many percents of savings. So let me tell you this, Dave.
Okay.
And by let me tell you this, I mean let me ask you this.
Gotcha.
What does a business have to do to cash in on those savings?
Man, I'm so glad you asked me that, Matthew Peck. That's crazy. Just sign up for a free facility assessment at ComEd.com/BIZ.
That sounds so simple. I don't get it. Why aren't more businesses taking advantage of this?
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe they just forgot the website or something.
Maybe they forgot the website. You just told it to me.
I did.
It's like 8 letters. ComEd.com/biz. ComEd.com/biz. It literally is 8 letters with a dot in there.
Give
with a .com. ComEd.com/biz.
Come on. It's that simple, y'all. Then you can do it too. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customers' energy usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
State law. Shout out to Colin in the comments for playing along. I'm new. How could I find out? Oh, my God.
Oh, I enjoy that they enjoy the ads.
It's nice.
Thank y'all for that.
Our guy, French Bulls TV, saying, we're not even at the quarter of the season. Still plenty of time to move pieces and lose games. Who knows? Who we are now is not who we will be in April.
That's fair.
Somebody else was talking about, who knows what this team will look like. And on that, Kyle in the comments said, the tank talk is both annoying and frustrating. How many years were we bad to pick 7th? How many times has Detroit been bad and picked 5th or later? A lot. So first thing to Clem's point about, hey, this could be a very different looking roster come April. I think that's what a lot of Bulls fans are hoping for and maybe banking on right now. Those who do think that protecting that top 10 pick and ideally picking in the top 5, maybe even one of the first couple picks is in this team's best interest and hoping for some lottery luck. You also have to have faith in this front office who put us here in this very tricky situation. As Dave said, you got to play these guys if you want to trade them so you can fully embrace this new direction. Those are the guys who have to get those midseason trades done.
Yeah. Correct.
And I mean, we, and especially Goat, have been beating the drum of just how hard it will be to pull off a midseason trade for Zach LaVine, given his contract and the new CBA rules, especially for those teams above the apron. Vooch is playing legit like the best version of himself since he arrived in Chicago.
Agreed.
He's still making $20 million this year.
Agreed.
Is he the best option between player and contract of said player for teams that might be looking to bolster their front court for a playoff run before the trade deadline? I don't know. Either way, AK and Eversley need to be the ones to successfully execute those trades. And given their track record, how much faith do we have in that happening? So I love the glass half full take of our guy Clem saying, hey, this roster could look a lot different. And in the meantime, we could have a more clearly defined direction of what this season's about. You got to get those trades done first. And go ahead.
The problem is also that like you're still banking these wins. Like Utah's 4-12 right now. Do you think that they're going to catch the Bulls who have a 4-win margin on them? Like the Bulls aren't going to fall off 4 wins worse than the Jazz, who are also going to start to do some of the same stuff come trade deadline time, right? And you could say that about the Toronto Raptors, who are 4-14. You could say that about the Charlotte Hornets, who are 6-11. You know, who knows what Detroit tries to do? Portland is 7-11. Like all these teams are off to a worse start or a better start, depending on how you look at it. And also are going to pull the same levers that the Bulls are going to try to pull, probably more successfully, because at the end of the day, I think it's going to be very challenging to move Zach. And they already have a head start when you get there. And so it's not just about like, what is your record at the end of all this? Because again, being bad is relative. If you're 32-50, yeah, that might be bad. But if there's 12 teams that are worse than that, you've just lost your pick. So that has to factor in here. And it just doesn't seem like it is. And again, this is the situation that they're in right now. I don't know what the right answer is, but I can tell you that the approach that they've gone about is problematic. It's wrong.
Yeah, I don't think there's a debate there.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that's just what it is.
And the thing about the fans, whether it be Kyle in the comments or all of those Bulls fans who agree with him, and I know that there are lots because y'all chirp at me on Twitter anytime I start complaining about this where the Bulls are, saying, oh, like, enough with the tanking. And you're obsessed with tanking. Like, tanking doesn't work. The Bulls tried and picked 7th a bunch of times in a row. And, like, look at the Pistons. They tanked. It doesn't work. Okay, there's 2 responses to that from people who can actually see through the trees and see the forest and wade through all the BS. The Bulls picking 7th 3 times in a row, part of that was actually trading up to the 7th pick and Lauri Markkanen when they traded Jimmy Butler to Minnesota. So that 7th pick is not a part of the Bulls failing at tanking. That was just them trading up in the draft. One of the other 2 times they picked 7th, they went on a meaningless 7-game winning streak at the end of a tanking season.
Thanks, Nico.
They chose to do that when they could have not done that. And the other part of, well, hey, when you even do tank properly, it doesn't always work out. Look at the Pistons. So that's a good reason to not try. Because when you talk about improving this roster and ideally getting this organization back to competitive years and seasons and playoffs again, GOAT hammers this all the time, and I think it's the most accurate thing any Bulls fan or any NBA fan has ever said about trying to get your team better from where they are now. How do you improve your team? Through the draft, by making trades to help your team, or by landing big-name free agents, or even complimentary role-player free agents. Working backwards, the Bulls have never proven to be a free agency destination. Ever. Don't know why? Figure that out for yourselves. They haven't. This front office has not shown to be adept at making successful trades and winning trades. What? Do you need me to list the examples for you? I don't want to. We got better ways to spend our time. They don't win trades. They don't improve their team with trades. The draft. The draft is the last and only way the Bulls fans can feel any modicum of hope of this roster getting better, adding young, good talent to this roster. So just because the lottery balls might not fall in your favor is a good reason to just not try that path when we know the other paths aren't even available to us? We've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. I hate that mentality from a faction of this fan base who's like, well, tanking doesn't work. Well, guess what? None of the other stuff works. Are you happy with where we are now? Being a play-in team or just missed the play-in shucks team until we all are 6 feet under. Try the one thing that might work. Fuck.
It's And to add, wait, you want to say something?
I was just about to apologize. The hat throw graphic is deleted off the computer currently.
What?
So.
Oh no! So that's the second one.
That's the
Just to
second
tell
one.
you, just to keep the
Yep.
tally.
can-
That's number
Who
two.
Just let it
deleted
make
that?
sure
Who
people
deleted
know.
the hat throw app? Somebody sabotaging Matt Peck in the hats, man. I don't like this. Oh, the Peck ain't gonna be the classics. Oh, I haven't seen that in a while. Look at that. Look at my special boy. Look at him. He's enraged. But to add to Matt's point, when it comes to tanking or however you want to call it, the reason, and again, a lot of faith is not in this front office to do these things right, which is what Matt was stating. When you are a team that is truly, 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 truly ass, then it kind of forces you and puts you in a position to where you need to be at to make those kind of moves, because you're not going to trust your front office to make those moves to get you there. So it's kind of doing it organically. Like, okay, well, fine. You'll be bad because you can't really do anything and put your fingerprints on any of that and make trades to help it or hurt it or do something like that. No, when you're just bad, you're just bad. And when you're just losing, you're just losing. And it has nothing to do with kind of who's running the show or not. You're just a team that isn't good and isn't good enough to win. So it's basically helping someone you don't trust to do the right thing. And I completely get that point. I do. I get that point. Again, AK and FZ have not done themselves any favors by putting themselves in the position right here that they're in. And with the trades that we've seen them make, and hell, even in the draft, they haven't done themselves any great favors or anything like that. They've missed on more than they've hit on as far as guys who can contribute. I would say right now, we'll see what Modest turns out to be. I think he's going to be awesome. But that's further, that's down the road. So when you've had more misses than hits, it lends itself to the ideology that this man over here has come to right here. Go ahead and do this, and let's get it done and out the way so we can see if we can get that opportunity to get one of those higher picks with more ping pong lottery balls. That's the logic. I get the logic completely of that. I truly do.
Yeah, and I think also it's like it's the downside exposure, and I've said this before, but it's like if the Bulls are the 9th or 10th worst team, they have a non-zero chance of teams jumping them and then they lose their pick. And that's an outcome you definitely want to avoid. The Pistons, for example, they dropped down 5 spots in the draft for 3 straight years. That's insane. But what they also did was ensure themselves a top 5 pick in 3 straight years. Mm-hmm. And like statistically, I know it's possible to get star players later in the draft, but like it's more likely that you get them earlier in the draft. It just is.
Sure.
Preach.
And so you want to put yourself in the best position to get the best players, because you know Cooper Flag's going to be good. You don't know if the guy who's drafted 10th is going to be good. Maybe he is, but like, do you want to play that game with your future? And is it worth the extra wins in November that the Bulls are racking up here? I would personally say no. Obviously, the lottery odds are flattened now. It's a little bit harder to do that. But I just think that, yeah, it's more about like the approach and the fact that they kind of set themselves up to be in the middle, which is what they were trying to get out of. And obviously it's not working. And again, a lot can change, but the fact of the matter is
a lot of time. That's true.
There's a lot of time, but they are not on a path towards losing more games right now. They're on a path towards, they're not 4 games under. They're not 2 games under. They're always 3 games under. And that's exactly where they are right now.
That's the saying.
And that's where they don't want to be. But that's where they always end up finding themselves.
3 games under.
Always. Without fail. Without fail.
Always. That's how
I was not planning on getting that upset today. But hey, here we are.
We all were planning on you getting that upset today.
That's what watching that trash-ass game did to me. And the Bulls were on the winning side of it, and yet somehow still on the losing side of what we all just had to sit through.
It was a tough game, man. That was hard to watch. I'm not impressed with Sarr.
No.
I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he gets better. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he grows. Maybe he just needs time. But I saw a guy who understands that he's tall, because he was blocking shots. But, the 3-point shooting, he took a lot of those. But I'm like, okay, I can't stand Will, a dude that big who's not going to be inside trying to get a high percentage shot. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's why I'm always yelling about Wemby. But Sarr just doesn't look like he's, figured out basketball yet. It's like he's just playing out there because I'm very tall and I know I can block shots and the 3-pointer might work. But as far as like working on moves inside, getting a nice little mid-range game or something together, maybe a little jumper like Vooch got or something, that doesn't look like that is in his repertoire, and it won't be. But again, there's plenty of time. Let's see how he builds. I'm just talking about what I saw today.
I want to touch on that, but I also want to respond to French Bulls TV, Clem's comment here.
Sure.
The U.S. sports system is made to make you wish for losses to maybe get better. I get it, but I can't root for losses. I just can't.
Totally, I get that too.
Totally understand that.
100%.
And I agree. Like the fact is, like the incentive structure in the NBA is completely flawed. If you lose more games, you have a better chance at the lottery. That's problematic. There should not be any justification, reason, incentive to lose games in professional sports. But it's similar to the point differential thing. Those are the rules. You got to play them until they change the rules. Sure. And like, I would love to have an hour-long conversation someday about ways that they could change the lottery. Should they get rid of the lottery? What are the alternatives?
Yeah.
Should they flatten it entirely? Should they remove it entirely?
Yeah.
We could totally have that conversation, but that's the theoretical thing. What is feasible, practical is putting yourself in position. And that's the thing that the Bulls are not doing right now. And so that's what we have to talk about. But I 1,000% agree that is a flawed structure and that it should be changed. But again, the reality is it's not. But back to Sarr, I mean, you look at the numbers there, 20 points, 7 rebounds. Like, if you just looked at the box score, you would be like, he was awesome.
He was solid. Yeah.
And like, he did put up good numbers, but yeah, I agree. I think he's just like kind of a ways away in terms of his physicality. He's very thin.
Sure.
It was a lot of like catching lobs and shooting threes.
Yeah.
He's an interesting prospect. I think it's going to take some time, but the Wizards, when you contrast them with what the Bulls are doing, they're getting these like more raw prospects. They're willing to take their time.
Yeah.
They understand who they are and that they're going to be bad and that they're going to get those lottery flyers. That's why they drafted Bilal Coulibaly, who I think is another guy like Sarr who's going to take some time. Same with Bub Carrington. Clearly a skilled player, 6'5", shifty, can shoot a little bit, very far away from being an actual productive NBA player.
Yeah.
But their timeline is such that they can take shots at those guys. And maybe they don't pan out, but maybe they do. And then they all start to come together and you've added a few more guys in. The Bulls are going the opposite direction, which is like, let's get guys who are established, maybe have a little bit less upside, but we at least know they can play NBA basketball right now. And we'll try to stay above water. We're not going to bottom out. We don't want to like alienate our fan base that way, but we're still going to hope to keep our pick. And so those are just two different approaches. And yeah, I mean, there's flaws with both of them because the incentive structure is flawed again. But to me, like, you got to take the shots on talent. And where do you get that at the top of the draft?
We got to take one more quick break here on CHGO Bulls postgame. We will come back to wrap up with our final thoughts, y'all's final thoughts on tonight's game, and of course, figure out who the goon of the night is. Stick around.
It's not Sarah.
Ray! Ray. Save us, Ray.
Goon of the night. I was going to say that one day. She might earn it. Sarah baby having some takes, bro. With the Black Friday sales event going on all month long at Ray Chevrolet, you can score doorbuster deals on your next vehicle without the door-busting stress. Head in today to shop their huge selection of new Chevy models with special Black Friday prices right now. Take 3250. That's $3,250 up to $13,000 off MSRP on most new Chevy models, or shop over 125 of their vehicles priced under $20,000. As one of the top selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. Visit our partner this November at their location on Route 12 in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. And if you heard of Ray Chevrolet, then you have also heard of Ray's Price Promise. They're guaranteed to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever with no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees ever. That means the incredible prices we're talking about right now, you can expect to see the very same prices when you shop Ray Chevrolet in-store or online. So shop the Black Friday sales event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive. Whee! Sarah was mouthing along with me. That was really cool. Shout out.
Post game tonight also brought to you by our friends at Circus Sportsbook. Football is back. Oh my goodness, we're about to get to crunch time of the NFL playoffs.
Crunch time.
We got college football rankings coming out weekly. Who's going to go to the CFP?
CFP.
Whether it's pro or college, the app to bet football and the app to bet the NBA, honestly, is Circus Sports Illinois. Circus Sports is sports betting the way it should be. Circus Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. All the things you want. Real humans, by the way, attached to that customer service, not robots. Bet on all of your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, even in-game bets. Circus Sports has it. Fund and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
1-800-GAMBLER. Sarah Bear, should we hand it on out? Should we hand it on out, Sarah Bear?
Let's go.
Be the man! You gotta beat the man! Now! I'm the man.
Woo! Go to the Knights! Empire Today presents Goon of the Night. All they do is floors, no matter what. 588 to 300. Sarah!
Empire.
Today. She said today.
You got to clip
Come
that
on,
and make sure
Katie.
Katie
Oh, that's
sees
getting
it.
clipped.
Come on, Katie!
Oh, that's getting clipped. Oh, yeah. That's getting all clear. Oh.
She's like drinking a bottle of Italian wine and eating some delicious pasta right now.
Yeah, don't worry about it now. Don't even think about us right now, man. But this is Goon of the Night. Matt Peck. My sweet, special Matt Peck. I'm going to start with you, sir. Who is your Goon of the Night? This should be entertaining.
Not applicable. I'm going with N.A. Nope. Sorry. I just wasted 2 hours of my life watching that game. It felt like 2 years. This team is trash. The season is trash. They're executing it poorly. I hate everything. So I will take this window of opportunity of what would usually be my Goon vote to just give a shout out to Sarah for that awesome thumbnail. I don't know if y'all caught it, but for you Harry Potter stands out there,
Avada Kedavra.
Avada Kedavra, which is one of the 3 unforgivable curses in the world of Harry Potter, which is the killing curse. Used, of course, aplenty by Lord Voldemort. Long distant lost stepbrother to Jim Boylan, he who must not be named. But I liked where Sarah's brain went because the Bulls bounced the Wizards out of the NBA Cup, essentially killing their NBA Cup dreams with that loss tonight. And she said, "What do you think about Avada Kedavra?" And I was like, "Yes, brilliant, love it."
Wonderful explanation, sir.
Yeah, but as far as the game, no Goon love, no window love. Go sell it.
Go sell it.
Go sell it. And by it, you know who and or what I mean.
About 5, 6:30.
And the Squirrel Master came out of left field. Told everyone I was bitch.
Show me your mean face.
It's good.
Will Gottlieb.
It was clear to me very early on in this game that the Bulls were going to win. So I've had a lot of time to think about this.
Yes. Oh my goodness. This is the best ever. Keep going. Go, baby. Go.
And there have been a couple of really strong cases to me. Dave, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Your Goon of the Night case was the effusive response in disgust to the way Stacey King was talking about the Bulls' potential to play good defense if they just put their mind to it. That was hilarious.
You say what I think he said?
The way you were still intently watching that game in the fourth quarter, even I had checked out at that point. Just really strong Goon stuff from you tonight, and I want to congratulate you on that performance.
Appreciate it.
I was going to go with you.
Okay.
But instead, I'm going to go with both of you because, Matt, that was just absolutely beautiful, cinematic masterpiece that you've just put on. Even just giving your Goon of the Night, I thought was really strong, but certainly that rant, I mean, that had Oscar-winning
I
performance.
just put some
written all over it,
gasoline
so-
and a lit match on top of the brains of Will Gottlieb sometimes. That's all I did.
So I'm giving it to the both of you guys. You earned it. You played tremendously well tonight, and I'm proud of you.
You should not be, but thank you.
No, you should be. You should. Oh, man. Sarah Bear, your goon of the night, please. Who deserves the title?
KU basketball.
Oh,
Because they play at 8 o'clock, and that was the only thing I was really happy and looking forward to.
This is the best.
Yeah. Well, if I had to pick someone on the Bulls, it would be Vooch, because he's doing better than what he looked like last year.
That's fair.
It's a good take.
That's fair. It's a fair
I
take.
love that Sarah just
Simple.
came out of left field like Kansas basketball.
Kansas basketball, and we're up at half. I think it's 41-38. So, KU basketball.
41-38?
At
Oh, so
half.
Duke made a run? Came on back?
No. KU's up.
That's what I'm saying. They were up by 10.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Woo. Wow. Those were all honestly really incredibly strong. And I like each and every one of those. Those were good. So, Goon of the Night shall go to
Drum roll. Drum roll.
Drum
Drum
roll.
roll. Drum
Drum
roll.
roll.
Drum roll. Drum roll. Oh. Cling.
This goes to Sarah.
Oh.
Sarah, you are Goon of the Night.
Whoa.
I thought Matt's
Why?
explanation was amazing. I thought it was honest and amazing and really, really great. Because when I first saw that, I said, what the hell does that mean? When I looked at Will, I was like, what the hell is that? It made no sense in the world to me. Matt breaking it down and just the intricacies of what it really, truly means, and then going in depth about the Bulls actually putting out the Wizards. That was brilliant. That's brilliant stuff. I will honor brilliance all the time. Brilliance is part of being a goon. And so, Sarah, you are Goon of the Night.
Wow.
You
On
are
top
Goon.
of that,
Congratulations.
she sang Empire.
She did sing
mean,
Empire.
Katie, we love you. We miss you already.
But
Does
Sarah
Katie
Bear
not
put
do
the
it?
vocals.
What
She
is
doesn't
the
sing.
sound
yeah,
drop
that face. Yeah. This face is shocked. She's like, why wouldn't she want to have fun?
I mean,
Some people don't like
I'm
fun.
not a singer, and it's okay.
No,
People don't.
yeah, I understand. It's not about that. It's about the joy.
No one here is a singer.
Yeah, that's right. It's just about the joy.
You just got to commit to it.
Yeah,
Enjoy
it's just
it.
about the joy of
What
it.
were you?
man.
What were you saying? Go.
There's a sound drop. It's something royalty, and I'd like you to play it.
Oh, yes.
God.
That's the royalty drop. Yes! Hello, patrons! Welcome to Goon of the Night, and it just being out. Young fan maiden Sarah
It just keeps going.
has won Goon of the Night. Brought to you by Empire Today, the good lordships of Empire Today. Presenting Goon of the Night. Oh, it's all.
Big Dave's like
And Poppycock.
one of those medieval times jousters being like, "I fight for your honor."
Go see Gladiator.
Go Blue Knight.
Royal fanfare.
Oh, yes.
I shall give my bouquet to the Red Knight.
I shall cheer for you, Spaghetti. I like you. I shall cheer for you. Oh, this show is the best. I love y'all guys.
Meanwhile,
Y'all are awesome.
uninvited to the joust, hunkering over like in the I don't know. Where would they be? I'm just trying to picture what the Bulls would be in that scenario, like in
Jester?
that fantasy. No, like the town hunchback, like lurking, like in the stables,
God damn.
shoveling the horse shit.
God damn.
Remember when my brother and my cousin were here, and they're like, "Man, I feel bad for you guys. You have to have a show after this. What are you going to talk about?
What did I tell them?
We're going to be just fine."
Don't you ever feel bad?
Yeah, and we talked about tonight's game for maybe 14 minutes,
Yeah. Don't you? Yeah.
and then it just seemed like that game.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah,
Oh, I do.
that game was ugly. It seemed like a good night for some big picture.
I do want to give love to Jalen Smith, though.
Please
I
do.
thought he played really well, and I thought he honestly changed the game when he came in because Washington was kind of up by 10 in double digits early on. But when Jalen Smith came in, they got 3 straight possessions in that second half and scored on 2 of them. Like, he kind of changed the way it was being played, and Sarr looked like he was struggling with a guy with that length and that kind of a skill set at the same time. So, yeah, definitely want to give some love to him, man. That was awesome.
There you go. Bookending postgame with basketball talk, a whole bunch of chaos and nonsense, and then a little bit of basketball talk.
Yeah. Something for everyone.
That's going to do it for tonight. We are back at it tomorrow, as are the Chicago Bulls. Second night of a back-to-back. They're on their way to Orlando to face the Magic, who they pulled off a 20-point comeback against earlier this season.
Yeah, they did.
See if the Bulls can give them another good fight. In the meantime, Will the Goat, Will _ Gottlieb, Big Dave is at Bow. BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls _ Peck. We are CHGO Bulls. Shout out to the one and only Goon of the Night / fill-in producer,
Hold down.
Sarah Bear.
Can you play us out
Telling
with
y'all
real
to pull down.
fanfare one more time?
Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Give us that fanfare. Pre-game 5:30 Central tomorrow. See Red be good, y'all.
Can't even see what singing gets you.
We all silly like the mayor.